So here is what it looks like now. I've taken the 3D printed enclosure, which, by the way, you can, I think, download the STL files from flowglider.com or on Thingiverse. And I had to extend my power wires here for the power connector, for the motor connector. Otherwise, yeah, I took a Dremel and removed those walls that were there for the first V1 version of the little FOCer. And then I also 3D printed this little panel, and that way I made some space, because these connectors, the JST connectors here, were otherwise touching the connectors of the hall sensors. So now the metal lid that I received, I think it's also aluminum, and here I drilled some holes and they didn't line up very well. My machining skills are absolutely horrible. You can see here how tilted the screws are. But I managed to get 5 of them through. I don't know if I should modify that last hole or just leave it disconnected. For now, I'll leave it like this, and then I need to cut off the ends of the screws. And yeah, so I have to get this to close up without pinching any wires. So wish me luck. So here's what I did with the battery. I threw out the BMS and I fit bullet connectors into the EC3 or EC5, whatever it's called. And then I designed a little adapter here for the wire. So I have just the battery wire coming out, and then this will go and connect to my VESC. So I've made some really good progress. I fixed my VESC onto the metal plate, and after grinding off the rest of the bolts, you can't even tell how crooked it was. And here all the connectors are in. Everything is tightened with bolts, and the only thing is the battery connector is still just an XT60. Also the charger, right now it's just a placebo filler. I will have to hook it up, but I don't even have a charger yet for 14S. I just have a 13S charger. And yeah, it's time to close it up. I want to make sure I don't pinch any of the cables, especially the little JST ones. Seem really fragile. Looks great. By the way, the guy who machined this did a really amazing job. I understand he did it by hand, but I don't know what kind of tools he used. But very impressive. There is a groove in here for TPU. So you just take regular TPU filament from a 3D printer, and that'll help seal it up. But I assume I'll have to open it again soon. And this hole is not exactly waterproof, so I don't think I need to bother with TPU. Oh yeah, and then there's 2 extra holes that I made when I drilled on the wrong side. Let's call them air vents. Okay, so now let's put that into the rails. All right, it's time to assemble it all. Let's line it up with the rails. Looks like it's going to fit. Nice. Let's do it.
What about, this is not gonna be good for the foot pads. Are you gonna carve?
Because look, there's this gap here, you see that? Because the original one goes up. See that? How much it goes up? And so we have extra room.
Yeah. Okay. So wheels on.
Wheels on.
Should I connect the connectors?
Now, I would say the rest we should now do on the workbench.
Alright, cable harness is now on. Alright. And tightened.
So now we'll put the cover on. You have to cut a piece off here. So this Dremel has really saved me so many times. Makes it so much easier to adjust. If you're trying to jerry rig something, Dremels are awesome. Okay. Oh, wait. Fresh float plates. They go right on there. Got to protect those 3D printed enclosures. They probably don't last as long as the injection molded ones. Here, it comes with all the hardware and tools you need.
Oh, nice.
But I think we got to put the bumper in first.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we do. Does it matter which one goes where?
I don't think so.
They look exactly the same.
Yep.
It's a shred hard on them.
Shred hard. Oh. So we got the cover and the float plates to fit. Now I realize that my battery connector is in a really horrible spot, so it'll be challenging to get that connected, but I'm hoping I can do it without disassembling anything. So before I connect it, I want to avoid the spark that you get when you connect the battery without any anti-spark, so I'm using a bench power supply, and so basically now I can power it up, power it back down, and I will up the voltage to 36 on the bench power supply, which is the maximum it can do. Now when I connect my 50 volt battery, I think that's where it's at right now, then it shouldn't pop too much. Turn this off. Get this going. Yes. All right, it is connected. Now I'm pushing as much as I can in here. All right. Cables are held down. I don't know if you can see this, but it should be in place pretty good. So this is all looking really good. Obviously my dust proofing is pretty bad. You can get in almost everywhere, but the first tests are going to be on pavement anyway, so I don't care too much. It's supposed to be easy, right? When I watch videos of other people doing it, but I always struggle with these things. All right. So, yeah, it was a tricky project, but I was able to put it together in the end, thanks to all the contributions from Makers PV and some guys from Discord. I really have to thank everybody for helping out. This looks pretty solid. It's not dust proof by any means, but it should be enough for me to try out the hypercore and tweak the VESC firmware a bit more. There is one more thing I have to do. I got this sexy fender that I normally don't ride because on trails it's just silly because it'll scratch up. But since I don't want to ride this thing on trails at first anyway, there we go. Looking good. So the assembly is done. Let's hope it works when we power it on and connect it to the VESC tool. So, see you guys next time.